So I've been looking online to find what do fitness influencers actually agree on when it comes to building muscle and strength. I'm mainly going to focus on building muscle, but here are just 5 items that I kind of found that everyone agrees on that you can implement into your fitness training. So the first one that comes up is progressive overload. Now, effectively what this means is over time, you are able to lift and move more weight. Whatever sets and reps you're doing, you're just able to do more overall resistance while still keeping in good form. So as an example, you could do something like 20-pound dumbbell curls for 5 to 10 reps. Let's start off at 5. Maybe the next workout you do, you're able to do 6. The one after that, you're able to do 7, and so on and so on. And then from there, you can even increase the weight and even drop down the reps and then work up again. So your goal is to start low, add on more reps, and then over time, add on more weight to then drop the reps back down so you're not working out forever. You want to keep it in a certain rep range. That way you're not just sitting there for hours and hours as you're able to do tons and tons of, say, 20-pound bicep curls. The next item I found that most influencers agree on is 1 gram per pound of target body weight. Now, some people leave out the target part, but I believe most actually say your target body weight, you want to have at least 1 gram per pound of that target. And I agree with this same thing. So for me, I'm trying to be around 180 pounds. That'll be 180 grams of protein. I'm a bit over that right now being in the holiday season, so I do need to cut a little bit, but just know my target's about 180 a day. Do I get there every single day? Absolutely not. There's some days I'm around the number, some days I'm way under the number. It really just comes down to how I had to go through my 9-to-5 job. Is it a weekend? Am I out with friends? All that kind of stuff plays a factor into how much I actually get. But just know my target in the background is always 180. So I'm always trying to make decisions that get me as close to possible to that 180 target. And do note when I find that I'm falling off target, I will actually take out some kind of tracker to see how much I'm kind of getting in my standard day-to-day. And then if I'm close to it, I'll stay there. If not, I need to make some adjustments in order to improve my protein intake. Number 3 comes down to skill of a movement. So basically learning the proper form and technique of the exercise first so that you don't get injured, meaning you start at a lower weight, learn the form and technique so that you're doing it properly each and every time. Then you use progressive overload for number 1 to add on more resistance while staying in that good form. By doing so, you can drastically reduce your injury. Now, one thing I like to also promote is that when you are learning a skill, especially with form, you can do more sets because you're probably not doing as many reps in that set. And you're probably not also getting as fatigued as doing something like a hard set because again, we are just learning the form of the movement. And once you have that down, that's when you then add on the additional resistance over time to get stronger and stronger and stronger, and in effect, building more muscle as well. All right, so item number 4 is going to be hitting the target muscle 2 times per week. Now, this will ultimately come down to your intensity while doing the exercise and your individual ability to recover within the week to actually do the exercise again. You really don't want to be hitting the muscle again if you haven't actually fully recovered and built muscle from the previous time you did it. Now again, this kind of all goes out the window if you're learning proper form and technique. If that's the thing, learn the skill of the exercise, do all that. But once you're really doing hard sets, you really can't do that many sets if you're really going all at it, and you can't have a frequency super duper high. So I have seen a lot of people recommending it really high volumes in terms of doing sets and sets. But if you're really training hard, because you have to train hard to get that stimulus, you may actually want to drop down the sets a bit in order to allow for the recovery to happen. Now again, this will come down to an individual's ability to recover. Also, if you're taking any kind of performance enhancing drugs, this will be something that will greatly increase your ability to recover, which is why you can see some guys work out way more often at higher intensities when someone who is just a natural cannot do the same. All right, and the last one, number 5, is going to be that sleep is very important and where all the muscle building takes place. So this is true. I didn't put a number on how many hours you should get because again, it's going to be variable. I see usually somewhere between 6 and 9 hours. I'd say probably more like the 7 to 8 is kind of like the standard average area where I'd go. I personally like to sleep about 7.5 to 8, which I don't normally get. I wish I got more of that, but video games kind of get in the way. But outside of that, most influencers recommend somewhere between that 6 to 9 range in terms of getting in your sleep. Now again, this will be variable to you and your ability to recover, your just daily life, what you do all the time, what you do for work. All this plays a big factor into how much sleep you actually need. Again, of course, the training is a big part of it, and then your ability to also have enough calories, protein, all that stuff to recover and build muscle for the time when you're sleeping. Remember, you don't build muscle when you're working out. You're actually probably breaking it down a bit. You only build muscle during the recovery period, where you have to actually recover from the damage of the workout and then build muscle on top of it, as long as you generate the stimulus the body needs to do so. So I do hope that helped a bit in terms of finding common ground between all the people out online, because there's so many people just spewing out ridiculous things in some cases, but most people have some agreed upon things that I think are pretty good here. So I hope you can use it in your home workouts or wherever you're training in order to get the results you are looking for.